November 26th, Brandon Staley said his message was still resonating with the team because they had yet to get blown out of the stadium. Well, checks date, they've officially been blown out of the stadium. Before Brandon Staley ever approved of being fired with his play, he approved of being fired with what he had to say. The team has been blown out of the stadium, and it's simple. Staley, he did have to go, because when you're no longer good at what you're supposed to be good at, then what are we still keeping you for? The Chargers hired Brandon Staley because he commissioned the #1 defense in the National Football League in 2020, coaching the Los Angeles Rams as defensive coordinator. Well, the Chargers have never even had a top 15 defense since he's been the head coach. You can't blame anybody but Brandon Staley. And worst of all, he signed it, he sealed it, and he delivered it, because he himself said they were listening because they hadn't been blown out. Well, now they've been blown out, and he's unemployed. Heading to the desk. Shady, man. This was hard for me, big dog. Shady, you know, in the NFL, when somebody gets fired, you know what you got to do. Had to pour out a hydration for him.
Yeah, that's my rule.
Had to pour out, hold on.
Yeah.
I got to pour out a hydration for him, y'all. I can't hit him.
Okay. There's like wires and stuff on this.
But we don't call it hydration, though.
Yeah.
Had to pour one out. In Philly, we had to
pour one out.
In Philly, had to pour one out for him.
That's the most respect you give the man.
That's all I can do. Coach Staley, you a good friend of the Acho family. You were my brother's linebacker. Coach is love. But Shady, got to do my job.
Yeah.
Got to do my job.
Please do.
I'm thankful I still have one.
Yeah.
2-5. Is the Chargers head coaching job, because now it's vacant, is it a good head coaching job? Let's spin this forward and have the real conversation that y'all need to hear.
Let me put my love
Go ahead.
for a second.
Go ahead.
That's it? I rock with Staley, too.
That's it? That's all he
Staley, don't get a lot. You get a little bit.
I bet.
See then. You know?
All right.
Hey, hold on. We showing love around here.
Okay.
What you got, James?
Yeah, pour some out.
I'll pour two of them, one for you.
Pour one out for George.
Yeah, man.
I'm here. I'm getting paid this week unless I didn't get
see it.
some
Pour one
news.
out, James.
One for me.
Where are we pouring this?
One for Joy. There we go.
Thank you for
Most respect.
Respect. It's love, Coach. It's love. Respect, man.
When they traded me, did you pour some out for me?
My dog, when they traded you, my dog, when they traded you,
all right.
When they traded Shady, I said no.
Okay.
I said no.
I'm not letting them bring you another one on set.
I had to make sure, though.
I said no, God. How dare you?
And it better not have been water, either. What's the question?
Is it a good head coaching job, 2-5? Talk to me.
It's a great coaching job. I mean, anytime you go to a team where you don't have to start from the bottom. Right? This team is a good team. They got a lot of players, though. If you just look at the roster on paper, it's a lot of, I don't want to call them future Hall of Famers, but a lot of all-pros, a lot of Pro Bowlers, right, on defense and offense. You look at a guy like Justin Herbert. We all could say that he's as an elite quarterback, he is a franchise quarterback. You could say that.
Yeah.
So winning games, that's why they get paid so much money, because you need a quarterback like that. Then you go to the running back. Eckler's a hell of a running back, right? Got a solid left tackle and Slater, and then you go to the wide receivers. They got a lot of them over there. Ooh. So if you ask me this question, is this a place you want to go to? Yes. Man, can you imagine Andy Reid over there with these boys? You know what? That's too good. He's the top of the charts. A guy like Doug Peterson, he goes over there. Nick Sirianni, I could name these coaches. You talked about how Mike Tomlin is up and down. They might not want him. Imagine if he goes there to this team, but this defense and this offense. He'll win games. So I would love, if I was a coach, I would definitely go there. I would be knocking on their door, hire me first, because I can win with this team.
No, I'm with you. The first thing as a head coach trying to get a job, you going in there, you interview, and you say, what's the quarterback spot look like?
First question.
It's very, very good, right? I mean, you got a guy that's a franchise quarterback making a lot of money, right? Then you go, what's my defense look like? You got 2 all-pro pass rushers. Lil Mack, Joey Bosa, you got 2 of them, right? You got an all-pro safety in Derwin James. You got an up-and-coming corner in my man Asante Samuel Jr.
Yes.
And then the receivers. I mean, you get Mike Williams coming back. You have all-pro Keenan Allen. You know, you got the first-round pick.
Quentin.
I mean, come on now. You know, it is going to be a lot of coaches knocking on the door trying to get this head coaching job, because this is a quick fix. This ain't I need 4 years and all that. This is next year we could be in the playoffs with the roster and the players that we have, with the right guy in charge, with the right message, getting these boys to play at a very, very high level. This job right here is very intriguing for any coach trying to get a head coaching job. I would definitely be looking at this one.
Yeah, obviously there's only 32 of them, so any of these are good jobs. But we can all agree some situations are better than others. Yeah. If I'm going to go to a new head coaching job that has Justin Herbert there under contract, I feel like that's a really good start. This is This is a great situation for a head coach. Anytime you fire a coach midseason, obviously the situation currently is not good. Yeah. We know that. Otherwise, they wouldn't get fired midseason. But what is the material that you have to work with? You know that you have a franchise quarterback that has a lot of talent. He was disappointing this season. He clearly needs some more development, but they paid him for a reason. We've seen with our own 2 eyeballs, he has talent. Yes, he needs the right amount of coaching. Now they fired the coach, so we know that some elements of what's happened this year was due to coaching. So we can move forward with that, with a coach that has the ability to develop a young quarterback, which is what Justin Herbert still is. Yeah. So that's one. That's one thing that makes it a very great situation to me. The other part is they have a blank slate. The Chargers have no identity whatsoever. No. It's not like you're going to a place where they want to run the ball, you got to run the ball, or you have to play hard-nosed defense, or we don't want you here. Like, there's no kind of permeating idea about what the Chargers are as a organization. We know that they've been disappointing, but as far as their identity or what we want from them historically or any of those things, those expectations aren't looming over you. So you have a blank slate to really create the culture that you want to with the Chargers, which to me is very appealing. You're not coming in with some weird, looming, historical, nostalgic conversation that's going to be constantly linked to your coaching style. That's important. Sometimes you go to these franchises that have this idea of what they want. The media has an idea of what they want you to be. The fans have an idea. You don't have that there. You're playing in Los Angeles, so you can get some free agents to come here. It's a great place to live. Lots of taxes, not great, but beautiful place to live. Very nice. We all enjoy Los Angeles. And when you look at the division, I think we thought more of what this division would be the past 2 years than what it actually is. I don't see this division as a division that is impossible to win. No. Now, obviously, you have Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid, and I'm never going to bet against them. But you look around, it's not the end of the world. You can come in here and quickly turn this organization around with the materials that you have and put your identity on it as a head coach.
I do not think that anything you all are saying is inaccurate. I don't think it's inaccurate at all, but I do think it's incomplete. Very, very incomplete. Chargers head coaching job, it is a good head coaching job, but it is a very overrated head coaching job. And let's break down exactly why. Number one, the Chargers' best players are either often injured or older in age. You think about Austin Eckler. He's coming off of his worst season ever. Keenan Allen, he is oft injured, though he is a 10,000-yard receiver. Mike Williams, he is always injured. Let's go to the flip side of the ball. Derwin James has been a beast, but he be getting hurt. Bosa, obviously, he's ending the season on IR. And then here is really where it comes down to a problem, America. Khalil Mack is the best player currently on that defense. What you gonna do? You gonna pay him? Because he's going to be 33 in February. You saw what happened to the Buffalo Bills when they decided to pay a 33-year-old edge rusher in Von Miller. Didn't work out too well for them. At least it hasn't thus far because he got hurt. So the dilemma for the Chargers is very simple. You got a whole bunch of superstar names, but on tape, you're not seeing superstar game. The coach will be held accountable for the names, but he will not get rewarded for the fact that the game does not currently match the name. So is the Chargers' job a good job? It absolutely is a good job, but I believe it is an overrated job because we are going to hold the Chargers to the standard of those 8 top 100 players. Remember 2 years ago, the peers of the Chargers said they had 8 players in the top 100. So we're going to hold that head coach to that standard. But those 8 top 100 players are not currently playing like top 100 players. And when they are, they inevitably get hurt more often than not. So I don't think it's a bad job, but I definitely think it is a overrated job. And that coach is being set up for the okie doke.
So I hear you. So I'm just thinking about, okay, it's 32 teams, only a couple bad teams looking for a new coach. Let's just go through the teams, though. Yep. Right? So we know what the Chargers have. The players they have in that locker room, they know the division, you know all that right now, right? The Bears, right? They might need a new coach. Mm-hmm. Do you want to go there and be a coach? Mm-mm. Okay. The Jets, I hope Salah keeps his job, but, I mean, do you want to go there?
I'll take that job with 12 coming back.
I mean, we don't know what happens. He got an Achilles injury. We don't know what can happen. Okay, and he is 40. The Steelers, right? Tomlin. No. Do you want to go over there and play over there and be a coach? The Patriots. Do you want to go over there and be a coach? Yeah. The Panthers. Do you want to go over there and be a coach? And the last one is the Raiders, which I like that one, but do you want to go be a coach over there? I think the best one, it has to be the Chargers. You have the players that's already there that are good enough to win now. You don't have to wait for no draft picks. You don't have to try to build no new culture. You have veterans that know how to play the game. Right? And if you're a really good coach, you're dedicated, you should be able to win with this team. If we look at all the top coaches that we just think of, it's off the top of our head, right? Yeah. We see how McDaniels has done with the Dolphins, right? Mm-hmm. You take him over there, what you think they gonna look like?
Sure.
McVay, Andy Reid, I can name all these coaches. So I just think that if you look at all the other jobs, opportunities, though, they're not the same as the Chargers.
Here's the...
And it's L.A. You might see your boy 2-5 in the drop top. It's L.A., Acho.
It's not that I disagree. It's not that I disagree. Hear me out. What I'm saying is this. James, if you just had to say Brandon Staley's record for the last 3 seasons, if I were to tell you Brandon Staley coached 48 games, what would you assume his record is based off the narrative?
I mean, at least win 25 of it.
He went 24-24. But we're talking about Brandon Staley like he went 10 and 38. Like, he went 24-24. I do not know Dan Campbell's record off the top of my head. Andy, off camera, I'm sure you can help me with that. Dan Campbell, Brandon Staley were hired the same year, but it looked different. And the expectation was different.
Still looks different.
Why is that different?
Because Herbert versus Goff.
That's what I'm saying. The players in that locker room.
So what I'm saying, it's not that I disagree with you. I do think it's a better job. But there's a catch. Because you went 24-24, and we talking about you like you dirt. Keep in mind, the blowout we saw yesterday, 63-21, it's not the worst blowout we saw this season. Sean Payton got beat by 50, and his starting quarterback was there.
But we're talking about him like this, and the reason why he don't have his job is because last year you gave up an 80-point lead in the playoffs, right? This year you come out and you open the season up and you just 3-point loss, 3-point loss, 6-point loss, 6-point loss. You're losing these close games that you was losing last year, and your team showed no growth. Your quarterback showed no growth. You went over here and got Kellen Moore to come over here for your offense, and this offense did not get better. So all the decisions that you're making was not working. Like, this dude is blowing leads. And, yes, you can't just point the finger at Brandon Staley. It's a lot of dudes that, you can point the finger at in this, but he's the head coach, so he's going to get the last point. That's why he's out of a job right now. But he's lost so many close games, and when you lose a lot of close games like that consistently, year after year after year, at one point it's on the coaching. At one point you ain't got your players prepared. We broke down some film on Justin Herbert. Why in the world we don't got no answer for hot? Why in the world we ain't got no blitz package, no blitz beaters to go out here and win some football games? That comes down to coaching, So at the end of the day, this dude has blown a lot of football games. Even though he's 24-24, he's blown a lot of football games with a really good roster. And like I said, I only care about one player when I'm taking a job, and that's the quarterback. Because you can build around the quarterback, especially if you got a franchise quarterback, and get the players that you want to get in there.
Yeah, the quarterback is the question for me. Like, that's what am I working with? You listed all of those teams. None of those teams have a franchise quarterback, except for the Chargers. Exactly. Now, we don't know how good Justin Herbert's capable of being, and obviously he was disappointing this season. A lot of those games came down to the ball in Justin Herbert's hands. Yep. But through the through chord through everything of Staley's time there was that he didn't take care of his side of the ball either. So when you compare Dan Campbell to Staley, that's where I would say the rub is. Like, you can struggle, but your side of the ball better not be struggling. Justin Herbert is injured right now. Did you see the score at the halftime? That didn't have anything to do with the offense. That's
a couple pick sixes.
Okay. But
yes, but it was terrible.
Okay, it was terrible.
The defense is terrible. Defense has been terrible.
They were scoring at will.
That's a lot of points. They scored some offensive points too.
Let me ask you this, story, because here is my dilemma. And then before we move on to Herbert, here truly is my tension. This is a tension I have. Dan Campbell, 21-25-1. That is his record since he got hired. Arthur Smith, 20-27. That was his record since he got hired. Robert Saleh, 16-31. That is his record since he got hired. Brandon Staley is either 24-23 or 24-24 if you include that playoff game. He's 24-24. A better record than all those dudes.
Yeah, but
one got fired. So I'm not even disagreeing with you. I'm just saying, if you take this Chargers job, just know the standard for you is going to be real.
And it should be because they had Justin Herbert.
You got more pieces.
Yeah, but Robert, what was the Jets when Robert Saleh took over?
All them
what did he? Now listen, some of it was their choice, like the players that they brought in and development with Zach Wilson and all that, but like, what were they working with? It's not like he took over some dumpster fire. The expectations are raised when you have certain talent.
Then let's talk about the talent, because Herbert is the talent. Yeah. Herbert is the highest paid or second highest paid quarterback to only Joe Burrow, if I'm not mistaken, in football right now. Shady, I think Herbert deserves some blame. I don't think he deserves all the blame because the defense sucked. So it's hard for me to even talk about Justin Herbert today because Brandon Staley, like Joy said, like James said, you didn't do your job. But I think Herbert deserves some blame, at a minimum 3 games. Miami Dolphins, you lose by 2. Herbert, you have the ball. Dallas Cowboys, you lose by 3. Herbert, you have the ball. Tennessee Titans, you lose in overtime. Herbert, by the grace of God, you won the toss. You started with the ball. So at a minimum, the record going into last night's game could have been 8-5 instead of 5-8. I think he deserves some blame. Talk to me.
Yeah, I do too. I mean, I had them same points on my notes as far as when you have an all-star quarterback, right? A franchise guy that you pay all this money to. Now, the game could go up and down. That's how football works. But at the last 3 minutes, 4 minutes, 1 minute, couple seconds, that's what you paid them quarterbacks for.
Yeah.
And he had the ball against a good AFC team in the Dolphins, right? Up and down game, right? Stay scoring, you scoring. We put the ball in your hands. Yeah. Win the game for us. Get us in field goal range. Mm-hmm. You lost. Two-point loss to the Dolphins. Mm-hmm. I keep going, though. Same thing with the Titans. Yep. 3-point loss, right? The Cowboys. That was an up and down game, 3-point loss. So as much as we want to blame Brandon for this, which he deserves, we got to give some of that blame to Herbert, too.
No question.
I remember watching him when he was young, I think his rookie year, when I was with Tampa. And I was like, we was like, yo, who is this rookie right here? Because I didn't really watch a lot of Oregon. I mean, they got the same type of players. They good. You know, they get to the NFL, they be okay. So we watched him like, who is this dude? Balling, right? So as the more I watch him, like, he's getting better and better and better stats-wise. Mm-hmm. We need some results.
Yeah.
So when we pay this money, we want some wins. Because in 2 years, you can't pay all these players you got on the team. Mm-hmm. We need you to put the team on your back. And he hasn't done that. He has the stats for sure, but we need more results. And we need you to win these games when they get close in the fourth quarter.
No question, and that's what it's all about. I mean, we really wouldn't be talking about none of these coaches if it wasn't for the quarterbacks being solid and going down there and winning football games. Andy Reid has a lot more wins because we know if Patty get this ball at the end of the game, it's a W. If Josh get this ball at the end of the game, it's probably going to be a W. At least they're going to have a chance to win it.
Right.
If Tom Brady get this ball with 27 seconds left, they're going to have a chance to win the game. If Aaron Rodgers get this ball, they're going to have a chance.
In the regular season.
Period. Point blank.
No, Aaron, not the playoffs.
He got a ring on my finger, so we ain't going to go there. But if 12 get the ball, Aaron Rodgers get the ball, we're going to go down there and score. So Justin Herbert had the ball in his hands plenty.
Hey, man.
To go down there and say, you know what, coach? Defense ain't been playing well. I got you.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? I'm going to get you.
I got you. Yeah.
At the end of the day, you're going to go to the podium. We all going to look good. We won by 3. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times he did not deliver. You know what I mean? So you're a franchise quarterback. You're one of the highest paid quarterbacks in the National Football League. You're one of the quarterbacks with the most talent in the National Football League. Like, he has everything you want at the quarterback spot. Mobile, big arm, all that. You know, smart, all that. He has all that. And you did not deliver in crucial situations. And you talking about 3-4 wins. If Brandon Staley is sitting here right now with 3 more wins, Brandon Staley is still sitting in his office with a head coaching job. You know what I mean? So you have to give some blame to Justin Herbert.
Private school, too.
But we all know when you're a franchise quarterback.
Well, I mean,
when you're a franchise quarterback, there you go.
Up the whole thing, bro.
Yeah,
like, the kids in school,
Would you
like
say,
a new nanny. Like, this is...
Hey, when you're a franchise quarterback, man, a lot of the blame ain't going to go to you. First person to is the coach.
Would you say he's a game changer?
I would say he's a game changer. Well, I can't.
Wait.
Who? Justin
Herbert.
Talent-wise and all that, I would say he's a game changer. But he has not delivered on the football field as a game changer.
He a game changer, though.
but he ain't changed no game.
No.
Change them.
Well, you know what?
He a game changer, not change no game.
Game-changing hair, though. That boy got that. That boy, that boy. I ain't gonna lie, pause and all that, but yo, bro got some good hair, though.
Yeah.
Yo, you know what? If
He
football don't work
does
out.
the Prince Charming flip a lot.
What's that?
Wait, you
What's
mentioned
the shoulder stuff? What's that?
Head and
Yeah, head and shoulder. He need to go in there.
You mentioned
Patty got that.
You mentioned all the teams that will be looking for coaches, or we've mentioned might be looking for coaches.
Okay.
Yeah, all of those teams, the Patriots, the Raiders, the Panthers, the Jets, the Bears, the Steelers, Commanders. None of them have had as disappointing of a season as the Chargers have.
Absolutely.
No doubt.
There is a big gap in the level of disappointment when you look at the expectations that we had for this team, for Justin Herbert's performance, and when you compare what Justin Herbert has accomplished with his peers in his draft class, which I think is the most reasonable comparison to do. What is the other guys that came in when you came in, what have they done? Now, some of them went to more stable situations, so you can give them that. I don't really look at it. What do you mean?
I don't even know if anybody, because I don't think Burrow did. I don't think Tua did.
Burrow hasn't gone through new coaches.
Because of him.
Yeah.
I don't think Tua did. You can speak to that better than me.
Tua had a functional start to the...
I think it was less functional. I'm saying I don't think Herbert's situation was worse.
I'm not defending Justin Herbert.
Yeah.
I'm saying he hasn't had the most stable situation.
Yeah.
He'll be on his third coach in 5 years.
Yeah.
Now, some of that is because of his performance. I think this year you can lay the blame at the feet of Justin Herbert to some degree this year. Not at the start. You can't control where you go as a rookie. You can't really control what happens in your second year. At this point, when you've been paid, the production should reflect that.
Yep.
So I do think he has to hold some of this, especially the games that you mentioned. If you win those games, we're having a completely different conversation, not just about the team, but about you.
Yes.
So, obviously it's going to be a new season, and we'll see what direction they go in. But I especially think when you consider what his peers have accomplished, and Joe Burrow is probably the greatest example of that, to go to a place that had 2 wins the year before, and then to have them in the Super Bowl. And we watched it, he has some talent around him, but he made them better, and they as a team and as an organization elevated. Subscribe here to get the latest from Speak, and go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.